We are living through this massive green energy revolution, right? But what's really behind every shiny new solar panel or towering wind turbine? It's something way simpler, just an idea. So the big question, in a world that's screaming for innovation, is what's a single idea actually worth?
I mean, think about it. Just one single breakthrough in solar, in wind, in battery tech, it could literally change everything. But for an idea to go from a sketch on a napkin to a real-world solution, it needs money, it needs investment. And investors, well, they need to know what that idea is worth. So really, what is the price tag for an idea that could power our entire planet's future?
Okay, so at the heart of all this, you've got patents. They're the legal shields that protect inventions, and frankly, they're what give innovators the incentive to keep pushing boundaries. In the world of renewable energy, patents are the absolute engine of progress. But here's the catch. Trying to nail down their exact dollar value, it is an incredibly complex puzzle, and the stakes could not be higher.
All right, let's dive into our first section, the price of progress. And I want to be clear here, this isn't just some boring accounting exercise. The price of progress, the value we put on these green patents, it directly impacts how fast and in what direction we move towards clean energy.
So, how do we even begin to think about this? Well, here's a great way to look at it. Valuing a patent is a lot like appraising a house, right? You can't just pull a number out of thin air. You've got to look at its unique features, where it sits in the market, location, and of course, how well built it is. That exact same logic, it applies to a brand new invention.
Okay, so if we're sticking with that house appraisal analogy, what are the key features an appraiser is looking for? Let's get into what really makes a patent valuable. What are those core components that give a green energy patent its ultimate price tag?
Well, according to the experts, it really boils down to four main pillars. You've got technological uniqueness, market potential, legal strength, and what we'll call technological lifespan. Let's break down exactly what each of those means.
First up, technological uniqueness. This is pretty intuitive, right? How groundbreaking is this thing? Are we talking about a revolutionary new solar panel that doubles efficiency overnight? Or is it just a slightly better screw for a wind turbine? Obviously, a massive leap forward is going to be way, way more valuable.
Next, we have market potential. I mean, you could have the most brilliant invention in the world, but if nobody wants to buy it, it's not worth much. And in the green energy space, where you can sell it is everything. A patent that covers huge, hungry markets like the US, Europe, and China, that's going to be exponentially more valuable than one that's just limited to a smaller region.
Then you've got legal strength. Think of this as the patent's structural integrity. Is it a fortress? A patent with really strong, broad claims is like a fortress. It makes it super difficult for competitors to just tweak one little thing and get around your invention. On the flip side, a weak, leaky patent, that's not worth nearly as much.
And last but not least, technological lifespan. The renewable energy field moves at lightning speed. So is this patent for tech that's going to be obsolete in like 2 years? Or is it for something truly foundational that's going to be relevant for decades to come? It's simple. The longer it's going to be useful, the more it's worth.
So that brings us to Section 3, how value is measured. We've got our 4 pillars of value, sure, but how do you actually turn those kind of abstract ideas into a cold, hard number? Let's get into the nitty-gritty of how experts actually calculate the price.
So we know what makes a patent valuable, but how do the experts actually sit down and calculate a price? This is really where the art and the science of this whole thing come together. There's no single magic formula. Instead, appraisers use 3 main approaches to kind of zero in on a patent's true worth.
First up is the cost-based method. This one's pretty straightforward. You just add up all the money it took to create the invention in the first place. All the R&D, the legal fees, the whole shebang. It's basically the what did it cost you to build this house approach. Now, it gives you a solid baseline, but it has one huge flaw. It completely ignores whether anyone actually wants to buy the house.
Okay, method number 2 is the market-based method. Here, you're looking for comps, just like in real estate. You try to find similar patents that have been sold or licensed recently and see what they went for. This is the what did the neighbor's house sell for approach. And it's great because it reflects real-world market value. The big challenge, though, especially with super unique tech, is finding a sale that's actually comparable.
And the third one is the income-based method. Now, this one is all about looking to the future. It's about forecasting how much cash that patent is likely to bring in over its entire lifetime. So in our house analogy, this is the how much rent can this place generate approach. And for green tech, this method is often the most important, because investors aren't just betting on past costs, they are betting on that future potential.
So, as you can see, each of these methods has its own pros and cons. The cost-based gives you a floor, but ignores the market. The market-based reflects reality, but good data is hard to find. And the income-based is all about the future, but, well, it relies on a crystal ball. That's why in the real world, experts almost never use just one. They usually create a hybrid, blending all three to get the most accurate and defendable number possible.
All right, let's move on. Section 4, Challenges in a Changing World. Look, this whole process would be complicated enough in a totally stable, predictable industry. But the renewable energy sector, it is anything but stable. And that throws a few more wrenches into the whole valuation machine.
Yeah, valuing green tech patents comes with its own special set of headaches. You've got technology changing at lightning speed. You have government rules and subsidies that can literally change overnight. You've got volatile energy prices. And on top of all that, there's often just not a lot of good, reliable data out there to make those market comparisons.
This quote really just says it all. In the renewable sector, today's cutting-edge technology can be tomorrow's history. Think about that. That income-based forecast we were just talking about, how do you predict 20 years of income when the thing you're valuing could be totally obsolete next year? This incredible pace of change adds a huge layer of risk and uncertainty to every single calculation. Okay, so we've covered the what and how. Now for the big one. Section 5, Why Patent Value Matters. Why should you care about any of this? What is the actual real-world impact of getting this number right?
It matters because getting the valuation right sets off an entire chain reaction. Think of it like this. A solid, accurate valuation is the very first domino to fall. That number gives investors the confidence they need to pour money into a new technology. That investment then fuels all the R&D needed to perfect it and get it to market, and that is what accelerates innovation for all of us.
And this isn't just about scrappy startups trying to get funding. An accurate patent valuation drives almost every major strategic decision a big company makes too. It determines how much money they can raise, what the terms of a merger or acquisition will look like, how they price their licensing deals. It even shapes how they position themselves against their competitors. So, if there's one thing to take away, it's this. Getting the number right on a patent can literally determine which green technologies get funded and which ones never even see the light of day. This isn't some dusty back-office accounting task. It is the gatekeeper of innovation. And all of this really leaves us with a much bigger question, doesn't it? In a world that so desperately needs these clean energy solutions, figuring out how to put a price on a great idea is more critical than ever. So the real question we have to ask is, what value are we willing to place on the innovations that are going to define our future?